What's up guys, MiddleAgedGamer here, and we were playing Train Simulator 2017, probably only because Train Sim World isn't out quite yet, hopefully very soon. And I actually did find a route that I haven't done any videos on, so we're going to go ahead and do a few of these here real quick. And go ahead and go to career mode, which is typically all that I do for the most part, especially for the videos. And we're going to go ahead and do the Hamburg to Lubeck route right here. And we're going to start off on career scenario number 1. It's Lubeck to Hamburg part 1 using the DB dab. I don't know if it's really called a DB dab. That just sounds kind of crazy, especially in American terms. But it's about 20 minutes long. It says it's relatively easy. And it says starting at Lubeck, head to Bad Oslo, driving the dab cab car with a BR218 pusher at the rear. So it does have the BR218 pushing at the rear. Shout out to everybody who got 1,000 on there. Richard Cash, Jolly Josh, Dark Jr., Dark Age, and reasonable shoutouts to everybody else who got other scores on here as well. Hopefully I get 1,000 of 1,000. It's my first time playing this particular route. Let's go ahead and get started up and let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. It says, good afternoon, drivers. Start by allowing passengers to board here at Lubeck. Your next stops will be Reinfeld and Bad Oslo. Let's go ahead and let the passengers on real quick. There we go. And I do want to check the lights, which I believe that's the lights. Cab light, we can go ahead and turn that off. We're not going to need that. Let's get our lights on in the front real quick. There they are. And we'll go ahead and watch as the train comes out of the station here in Lubeck before getting back into the cab. Again, just waiting for all the passengers to board at this beautiful terminal here. Looking at the task list, it looks like we're going again to Reinfeld and then Oslo. Oslo is a total of only 22 kilometers, not very far. And Reinfeld's only just under 15 kilometers, so it's actually going to be a relatively short journey today. So 20 minutes, probably pretty accurate is what the scenario stated in the menu system. All right, here we go. Go ahead and take the brakes off and we'll get moving forward here. Again, just be a little bit mindful. I need to put the reverser forward. There we go. Be a little bit mindful of wheel slip. Don't go straight to 100 right off the bat. Definitely get the wheels rolling before you crank up the power. Otherwise, you will be losing some points. Pretty cool looking train. Looks like standing room downstairs and sitting room up from what I can tell. And I think we're going to be switching a bunch of tracks coming out of the station, so I'm trying to stay under 45, even though it says you can go up to 60. I'm just afraid of getting any speeding issues switching tracks up here. So let's go ahead and get back in the cab here, see where we're actually going. Looks like we're headed towards the outer track from what I can tell. Good, didn't lose any points on the way out. About to head up to 90 kilometers per hour right now as we head around this bend. Again, just be a little bit mindful of the wheel slip. Just going to slowly increase power instead of putting all the power on at once. Go. Of course, slowly decrease power as we get closer to 90 as well. And it looks like we'll be able to eventually get up to 120 coming up, which is nice. You do have the AFB that you can use, and you can actually set. It's right here in the switch. And you can set the maximum speed if you want to and just kind of cruise at that speed. I'm not going to do that today. I think it makes it a little bit too easy. Excuse me. So I'm just going to manually check my speed. Make sure I don't go over the prescribed speed limit right here, otherwise you will get deducted points, unfortunately. Anyways, if it's your first time watching me, please hit the subscribe button below. Definitely helps me out. You can also follow my live streams at twitch.tv/themiddleagedgamer. And you can always submit a donation if you want to. I definitely appreciate my drinking fund. That's what the donations are going to now. I do want to thank everybody. We raised definitely well over $2,000 for charity over the past 2-3 years through both my Twitch and my YouTube account. So I'm very appreciative of that. This next year is going to be relatively casual as far as me putting out videos and streaming. We'll be putting out probably more videos than ever, but it's you know, it's just for a hobby this time around. It's not going to be for charity. It's not going to be for finding more followers or anything similar to that. I'm just going to gear it towards what I want to play. Hopefully you guys like watching me play the game. If not, I apologize. We go past a intersection right here. Just holding under 90 kilometers per hour. But yeah, I've held off on playing certain games just because I thought, well, people don't want to watch me play that. But then again, here I am playing Train Sim, which is what got me most of my following. So, teaching their own, I guess. Hopefully it's good. I'm going to start playing some more strategy games. I've been playing Transport Fever quite a bit online. And have a bunch of videos uploaded to that, or as far as guides on how to beat the missions with 5 gold medals, so you guys can check that out if you want to. Okay, we can get up to 120 right here. Let's go ahead and speed up. And I might do a couple train buys here in just a little bit. Let me get closer to 120 though and level it out. Go 110. 15. And you see we do have, looks like we're actually on top where the seats are, not below, which is really cool. You can walk up the stairs, which is down here. Now, let's just look out the window here for a little bit. We're cruising pretty quickly at about 117 kilometers per hour. And we're about 8.5 kilometers away from Reinfeld. Nice little mug right there. Rail Simulator, I believe is what it says. I can only assume this route was made back in 2013 from the looks of it. Right there. Let's go ahead and do a couple train buys while we got a chance. Nice long straightaway out here in the countryside, which I'm sure is probably pretty realistic to the real line. ETA looks okay. It's about a minute ahead right now. I'm assuming we'll probably lose a little bit of that time the closer we get. Anyways, if there's any games that you guys want to see me play out there that I haven't put on my YouTube channel yet, or if there's any particular route that you want to see in the future, please comment below and give me a quick cheers shout out as well if you want to. That's always helpful. My hope is also to play some older games this time around. I'm thinking about going back and playing some Theme Hospital, and even maybe breaking out the Nintendo for a live stream. I got about 300 games on NES. Thinking about breaking that out, just kind of going through the games, seeing what's good and what's bad that was released back in the day. Back when you could just plug in the game, start it up, and be playing in 5 seconds, as opposed to waiting for updates to download on PS4 or Xbox and having to download DLC and patches and everything else. There was none of that back then. Down the exterior for a little bit. I know you guys like to see the exterior quite a bit. I'm more the type of person that can stay in the cab the entire time, but that can get boring for some of you guys out there. So I try to give everybody a little bit of what they want when I can. Beautiful train model though, in my opinion. only about 3.5 kilometers out, which is good. Losing a little bit of speed. Speed up just a tad bit. It's going to get back in cab as we get closer to the platform coming up. You can see it on the graph below. Go ahead and let it coast. Looks like we got green signals coming in, which is good. Looks like a freight train coming by us right there. Start slowing down. Seems like the brakes are actually really good on this train, which is a positive. Actually kind of over braking right now. ETA is good as well. Goes pretty close to the end of the platform right there. There we go. We'll go ahead and open the doors. Allow the passengers to come aboard. And then the last station is Oslo. You can see we're only about 8 kilometers away, so this should be relatively quick to get there. So far, this route's actually running really smoothly. The frame rate looks really good. The modeling looks pretty good as well. I don't really see any issues with anything. And the scenario is not broken yet. The key is yet. Okay, we're on time. Let's go ahead and get moving back forward. Release the brakes. Just starting out slow, make sure I don't get any wheel slip moving forward. I actually want to hit the horn just to see what it sounds like. We got an intersection coming up anyways. Alright. It's kind of what most of the European trains sound like in this game. I'm not sure how accurate it is offhand, but it sounds alright. Alright, let's go get back in cab real quick. Only 7.5 kilometers to go. Definitely picking up quite a bit of speed. Even only at 70% throttle. ETA is looking good. We'll start throttling back here in just a second. Go. And this is when you could go ahead and set the AFB if you wanted to, lock it in at 120 kilometers per hour and be set. That's a little bit easier than what I like to do. I think I actually got a windmill off in the distance. I don't remember seeing windmills in this game offhand. Already down to 5.5 kilometers to go. There's that windmill right there. Pretty cool. A couple windmills actually. Really neat. Alright, 4.5 kilometers to go. A little nervous about the entry. I'm not sure if you have to reduce speed at all. Hopefully the graph tells me below exactly what I need to do. Can't always rely on that though. Got to be pretty vigilant to look at the signs. And then again, hope that the scenario itself is not completely broken either. Got some time on the ETA though, which is good. Just gonna kind of let it coast for a minute. 3.5 kilometers. And I see the platform below. I don't see any reductions in speed on the way there. I'm just gonna go ahead and let it coast since we got plenty of time on the ETA compared to the arrival time. There's another freight train going by. It's actually a relatively easy mission if that's the case. Let's see what signs we have coming up. Go ahead and reduce speed a little bit as we come in. Really no reason to rush. We technically have 2 minutes to get into the siding. Looks like I got clear signals coming in too. Come in really, really slowly. Again, you don't have to do this. You could probably fly into the station without issues. Get under 40 kilometers per hour. Just kind of slowly work our way onto the platform. And we're still easily adhering to the time table or time schedule as well. It's going to get stopped before the end of the platform. Most people are waiting right in the middle right there. We'll go ahead and open the doors for the passengers. There we go. That might be the end of the mission. I mean, that was a really, really quick mission. I'll probably end up loading part 1, and if I can finish part 2 today on YouTube here in the next day or two. So if you're watching part 1, hopefully by the time you watch this, you'll see part 2, so you can click next and watch the rest of the journey. Let's hope we got the 1,000 of 1,000 as well. There we go. Well done. All tasks completed with no issues. Select scenario, career scenario 2, Lubeck to Hamburg part 2 from the career menu to continue the service down to Hamburg HBF. There you go. We got a achievement right there for scoring over 700 points. Again, shout out to Richard Cash, Jolly Josh, Jark Jr., Dark Age, and myself for 1,000 of 1,000. Shout outs to Rainbirds, Achy Gamer, or Gamer, Neil, Scatchers, etc. All these other people for completing the mission. Anyways, MiddleAgedGamer, please hit the subscribe button below and go ahead and click next for part 2 of this mission. Definitely appreciate it. Cheers.